Hi, my name is Francine and I have ovarian cancer. We don't know how long I have, so my job right now is to make every day count. Hi everyone. Today I want to talk to you about a woman named Ann Reuters. She passed away in August of 2022 and she left a letter to all of us. I like finding these accounts because it validates that they're people. They may be spirit people now, but they existed and they had a message. And I feel compelled to find these messages. So Gloria doesn't seem to care though. I mean, she's very content right there. So the three of us can first react to a very short video that was put out by a cancer society in Australia. And I have not done this before. It's very short. So if I haven't done this before and I screwed up, it won't be so bad. And then we'll talk about her letter. Okay.
My name is Ann Reuters. I live at Lake Illawarra and I'm 62 years old.
I'm almost 62 myself.
On Christmas Eve 2019, I was actually diagnosed with stage 4B ovarian cancer. I was certainly shocked by the news.
Same cancer.
At the beginning,
almost.
I thought there was a possibility that I may only live for 6 weeks. And 2.5 years later, I'm still here. I'm not terribly well, but I am still here. I'm lucky that I stay fairly positive and I live each day as if I'm living, not as if I'm dying.
I just want to pause it there because, you know, she has basically the same cancer and she's close to the same age and she's riding that bike like a champ. And it does go to show you that, you know, people that stay fit and take care of themselves also get cancer. And okay, so again, this is my first time, so I don't want to pause it too much. It's all actually almost over.
I try to look at the best in each day, not the worst. And I do have very tough days. I live very much for the now. I can't predict my future. I can't plan things into the future.
2.5 years later.
But what I can do is love every day, and I truly do. I love the way that Cancer Council support cancer patients, but also raising much needed funds for research.
Okay, I hope I did all that right. You could watch the video with me, but I have no idea. So, yeah, that's powerful, right? That's powerful. So what I want to do is I do want to read her letter, and I'm going to do that in just a few minutes. I need to take a break, and then I will come back and we'll talk about that. I'll see you in the next clip. Okay, I have her letter out on my laptop, and the Cancer Council says, Anne was a strong and a courageous woman. As a cancer supporter of Cancer Council New South Wales, you give people like Anne support and dignity when facing terminal cancer. Shortly before she died in August 2022, Anne was encouraged by this support to share with you how she faced cancer. Her family has given their blessing for this letter to be shared. Dear reader, I have terminal cancer. This is what I want you to know. I'm 61 years old and I'm going to die. I will not survive this cancer. People often don't know how to talk about cancer and dying. That kind of honesty isn't for everyone, and I know it makes some people uncomfortable, but I don't want the awkwardness that comes with pretending that it isn't happening or that the outcome will be any different. I think that, with so many issues in life, we can deal with cancer better when it's out in the open. I was diagnosed with stage 4B ovarian cancer on Christmas Eve 2019. Stage 4 means that cancer is advanced and has spread to other organs and areas of the body. It's essentially the most severe form of cancer. I don't really remember Christmas Day. It's a blur. But I know that my husband Tony and I told our 2 adult children, Mark and Michelle, that day that I had cancer. I was told if chemotherapy did not work, I would only have 6 weeks to live. I thought a lot about what I want people to know, about what it's like to have terminal cancer, and if I've learned anything during this roller coaster. I hope that if you're also going through terminal cancer, or you love someone who is, my thoughts can help and comfort you. Life is still beautiful. A lot of people are understandably afraid of cancer. You can't see what's going on inside the body, and then suddenly you're transported from the world of feeling great to a world of the chronically ill, to the world of hospital beds, multiple surgical procedures, admissions to emergency via ambulance, chemotherapy, numerous blood tests, scans, medical appointments. You are no longer the last person to leave social gatherings, and you feel your body is no longer your own. But I don't want people to be afraid of cancer. Life isn't any less beautiful if you have cancer. I still get the same joy out of being in nature, spending time with my family and friends, getting on my bike and in my kayak. I still get so much pleasure out of living, even if it's just feeling the cool air on my face. Cancer is a roller coaster, but I want people to know that you can still live as if you're living and not as if you're dying, and you can still get the positive out of every day. I always look at the most positive thing in each day, not the negative. One way that I manage this situation is by repositioning all the changes as normal. Bald Ann is normal Ann. Tired Ann is normal Ann. Ann on chemotherapy is normal Ann. And Ann having surgical procedures is normal Ann. This isn't something that is just happening to me. This is happening to normal Ann now. My treatment teams have played a huge role in keeping me feeling positive and strong about life. Every single cancer nurse, oncologist, and surgeon have been wonderful, and I feel so fortunate to be receiving their care. Your relationships change in unexpected ways. It's true. When you have cancer, your priorities change. It makes you think about what's important in life and what's not. Not all changes will be positive. Not everyone will support you during the very tough times, and some people will even abandon you. I've lost a friendship during my cancer roller coaster. Cancer is a lot for everyone to come to terms with. For you and for everyone around you. Be kind to yourself. At times, it's an emotional as well as a physical roller coaster. As a cancer patient, if you can be open and honest about your experience, you can help guide those around you. And if it doesn't go as planned, don't beat yourself up. At the same time, as some abandon you, many other people will give you fantastic support, and they won't always be people you expect. My family, friends, and local community are an incredible support, but I've also had strangers do the most incredible things for me. I started chemotherapy in January 2020. A week later, a Turkish Muslim family were having a picnic across the road from my house. They asked me if their children could pet my dog. And when we were chatting, I told them that I had just started chemotherapy and I was going to lose all my hair next week. I asked this family if they could show me how they tied their headscarves. They couldn't take their headscarves off in public, but they were more than willing and happy to show me how they tied them, demonstrating with serviettes. I'm not sure what that means. 2 weeks later, there was a knock on our front door. Elise and her husband, Ahmet, had driven all the way from Liverpool in Sydney to Lake Illawarra. They brought me scarves, and Elise taught me how to wear them. Then, when Tony and I were kayaking in Taurus Lake, I met two more beautiful strangers, Anne and Carrie. They saw my bald head, and we were chatting about my cancer. That night, when Tony and I went to dinner and went to pay for the meal, the restaurant owner told us Anne and Carrie had already come in and paid for our meal whilst we were eating. Yet another beautiful act of kindness. We stayed friends with Elise, Ahmet, Anne, and Carrie. I want to keep moving and achieving. Each day, I like to achieve something for myself, something for the household, and something for the community. If I do these three things, it gives me a fantastic sense of pleasure. For me, it's getting out and doing exercise in the morning, which I find helps manage the side effects of chemotherapy. It's not about being the fastest, it's about the pleasure I get from being outdoors and doing what I love. Being out in nature helps me immensely. There are many days I don't feel like getting out of bed, and the easiest thing to do is stay in bed. My body tells my brain that I can't do it. But when I rise above that and I exercise, my brain tells me that I can do it. Riding my bike or getting out in my kayak gives me an incredible sense of pleasure and achievement. If I can cycle or go for a paddle, I know I can get through and rise above the other challenges ahead of me. For the household, I try to achieve at least one of the following: online shopping, cooking, gardening, caring for my family and the dog. Something where I just feel I'm contributing. The thing for the community doesn't have to be big. You don't have to be a community leader or a volunteer every day. For example, the other day I spoke to someone in the park who was lonely. It can be as simple as engaging with someone else and making their day better. Your community could even be your friends and family. You don't need to stop saying my name. When I die, I would like my friends and family to take me with them in their hearts. I want them to say, "Mom would love it here," or ask, "What would Anne say about that?" Of course, they will feel extremely sad when I die because they love me and I love them. But I never want them to stop talking about me or talking to me. One of the hardest things that I've said to our children is that if Tony meets someone else, I want them to embrace the new person in his life. It's important for me that Tony still be able to live as best he can. I often think, who is this more difficult for? If it was Tony dying, how would I handle it? Not as well as Tony does, I suspect. Tony's love and support for me is impossible to measure. Mark, Michelle, and her fiance Scott love and support me with so much and are so brave under these difficult circumstances. You need to be your own advocate. My diagnosis followed months of back and loin pain. I was initially diagnosed with a blocked ureter ureter. I think it said differently in, I don't know, ureter. Okay, sorry. And had several procedures, but I knew something more sinister was wrong. I had to keep pushing for answers and requesting more scans from the original specialist until finally another doctor stepped in and helped me by ordering a PET scan, which showed that I had widespread cancer. I was told things were normal for my age, and I wasn't showing any cancer markers. If I hadn't advocated for myself, I would already be dead. You know your body best. Don't ever stop pushing if you're not happy with what's happening. I'm not giving up. My cancer is spreading, and there are some days when I'm in a lot of pain. But for as long as I can, I'm going to live as if I'm living and not as if I'm dying. I'm going to keep cycling, kayaking, and enjoying nature as I always do. I am still taking this cancer beast by the horns and currently trying a different chemotherapy regimen. Life is far too beautiful and unexpected to give up on. A long time ago, I was down by the water and I saw a pelican standing on the shore with its wings outstretched. I stood behind it, held my arms the same, and I felt the greatest sense of freedom wash over me. I'm not giving up on life. Life has to give up on me. Love, Ann Reuters. Hi, fam. This video that I just recorded a couple of days ago, and I reacted to it, but I didn't care for the way I reacted to it. So I decided to do this part again. Anne impressed me in many, many ways. It takes a lot of guts to do this. It takes a lot of guts to go through cancer journeys. Some are harder than others. And the word terminal does change a lot. But she impressed me in so many ways and so many things that, I don't know, maybe I wish I could do. The fitness, for one thing. Sounds like she's been into cycling and kayaking for many years and loves the outdoors and really communes with nature. And we should all do a little bit more of that, right? I don't think at this point I'm going to do the fitness thing, but I do need to do a little bit more than I do. Right now I'm limiting myself to physical therapy for the, hands and the arthritis in the rest of my joints. So I'm doing a lot of stretching exercises lately, but yeah, I really need to get out there and walk. And I think I got to be resolute about that as soon as the spring comes. I would like to commune a little bit more with nature. That needs to be a bucket list. That needs to be a goal for me. So maybe I'll do some vlogging outside. Who knows? The other thing that, I'm so happy that she had such loving support from her family. I think that's so important, and not everybody has that. Okay. The kids are out. Not everybody has that. And and that is kind of sad, and you have to find what you can, where you can. And if that means hospice nurses, or that means a support group, there's always people to connect to. And I was very happy that she found some friends along the way at the end of this journey. Meeting a couple in the park, meeting a couple, I don't know what it was, whether it was kayaking but it was outside. That must be the magic the magic pill is just go outside and talk to people. You know, the universe works and God sends people to you that you should be with. He always sends people to love. We just put ourselves in less vulnerable positions for that to happen. So in other words, if I just stay inside and I never go out and never commune with nature and never go to the grocery store because of anxiety, then I have to accept that my options are limited. It doesn't usually just knock on your door. But that's okay for a lot of people. But it wasn't okay for Anne. And she made the friends that she really wanted and needed. And with the family support, it sounds like she lived her life to the absolute fullest. Yeah, that's important. That's important. So what I want to tell you also is that, I'd like to cover more of these stories because there are people that wanted their stories out there. There are people that wanted to convey their last hopes, their last wishes, their last words, their last thoughts, advice that they were giving us. So if you happen to know of any stories you'd like me to cover, send me a link in the comments below, and or just a name that I can look up, and I will research that. If you don't want me to ever do a video like this, just let me know that too. No, don't let me know. No, do. Sometimes I got to hear things I don't want to hear. So the other thing is I'm getting ready for another Q&A. So if you'd like to drop some questions in the comments, I will be happy to answer your cancer questions or questions about anything about my life. And if there's not a lot of them, then I will turn to AI again and see what questions it comes up with. All right, I think that's it for now. This video was long enough. Thanks for hanging in. If you're still here, I appreciate it. And I love you all, and make it a blessed day. And I think I need to feed these cats. Bye.